Okay, so we're here at City College, Brighton and Hove at the AASE Boxing Academy. We've got Macualey Barnes, Jacob Potts, Kashim Cooper and Alfie Haven here, and they're going to be talking to us about their experience of AASE over their time here at the Academy. So got a few questions, and we're going to look at the whole areas of AASE as well and ask them certain questions about that and see what their experiences are and their benefits, etc. So we'll start with you, Macca. So technically and tactically, how do you feel you've improved over your time at AASE?
I think the main two ones I focused on was range and counters, because I felt like sometimes I was smothering opponents and that, so I thought if I kept my range in that, then it would improve overall as a boxer. And I've done that just by working on like pat pads and stuff like that, and like communicating with other boxers and then showing me like stuff that they know and just communicating with them and sharing ideas.
Okay, so Macca's talked about communicating with other boxers there, you know, about his paps, about making sure he's giving himself a bit of range and not to smother himself. I mean, what was your experiences of Macca when you sparred with him or you've watched him train in terms of not smothering himself, trying to work on that?
To begin with, I know what he means when he smothered in, so he was really close and his head was right on my shoulder and everything. But recently he's been stepping out and then coming back in with the right hands and moving around. So he's not actually all the way in, so he can't actually get his shots off or anything like that. So
okay.
He can throw his shots properly.
And what about you, Cash? What kind of experience have you had technically and tactically? What kind of improvements have you experienced?
I think to begin with, I needed to improve my hand defences and range, because my range I was always out of range and I tried to stay back and try and counter a lot. But a lot of the time I was coming too short if they were coming in, because I was just that little bit out of range. So I've just been moving forward using like pat pads and everything like that.
Okay.
So I can move into going into body punches, and I also just try to improve my hand defences as well, because my hands did drop occasionally, so I was just using little things like wedges.
Okay, and what about you, Jacob? How do you feel you've technically and tactically improved?
Just all about my feet, really. Because when I started off, my range with my feet was just massive, and I couldn't move my top half. I could only move it by a limited amount. But now I've closed it up and I'm bringing in my back foot more. It's giving me more power and more like twist through my punches, giving me more range. Yeah, and just overall footwork, just moving around the ring and stuff like that, really.
Okay, so tactically is also understanding where to be in the ring at the right times. Okay, and Alfie, what about you? What kind of experiences have you had or improvements have you had technically and tactically?
My first one was my body shots. Just making sure I'm going up into the ribs. At first I was sort of throwing body shots like a head hook, but I progressed it on to making sure I'm going up and under. I did that by sort of like on the pat pads. I'll get the partner to make sure I'm doing the shots properly. And also like my second one was my footwork, making sure I'm sliding and gliding, not like hopping along the canvas. I did that just by the drills on the floor, just making sure I'm always doing that properly. And my one now is sort of like my range, making sure I'm throwing shots at the right range, and just letting my hands go at the right times as well. Obviously I don't want to be missing my shots too much and wasting shots.
Sure.
But also it's just perfecting everything for me, really. I just want to be as best as I can in all the areas.
Okay, refining of skill, yeah?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to physical, guys. Okay, so Unit 14, physical side of things. How do you think, Cash, you developed physically?
Physically, I think I started off being quite strong, so because I had a lot of fast twitch fibers, probably just like naturally, but I was quite slow as well with my punches, and it was a hard hit, but it was slow getting there and just pushing it through. So I just worked on except like a little bit in speed, so I improved my power.
Okay.
So like I used a lot of S&C training. Where I just grab like a 20 kg bar, and I'll just use that, and I'll do the correct punch. I'll push them through my legs and put the proper the rotation.
What kind of percentage of your 1 rep max was that?
That was about just under 3 quarters, 5.
About 50%, yeah?
Oh yeah, about 50%.
Yeah. So it's actually 45 to 50%, but yeah, that's how we develop the power. But yeah, I mean, selecting that 20, we've looked at that anyway. I mean, You might have only been able to wax one arm 40 kilos, yeah? So it's about right anyway.
Yeah, that's a change in each round.
Okay, right. Anything else? But mainly the kind of conversion, strength and power.
Yeah, that was my main improvement, I think.
Okay, great. What about you, Mecca?
Yeah, I was kind of like the opposite to Cash. I had like the speed in that, but my power of my punches weren't very hard in that, and I wasn't hitting very hard. So like, I chose to work on my power, but the way I chose to work on it was through flexibility. So I'd make sure that like I was a lot more flexible in my lower body, like my hamstrings and my legs and calves and stuff like that, so that when I actually threw a punch, like it come from the legs and then like it would come up through the body, and then my like power of my shots would be a lot harder.
Okay, so range of motion,
Yeah.
and also working on force with the strength and conditioning as well. Okay, move across back to you, Alfie. So physically?
Yeah, my first one was my flexibility. When I started the course, my flexibility wasn't amazing, but I've been working on it a lot, sort of like 20 minutes a day in all the different body areas, especially the hamstrings. This is just so I've got more like rotation on my shots, and it will link into my other one, which was my strength and power. Obviously the flexibility will help with that, and the SNC as well. Doing all that sort of stuff, like the explosive exercises with my SNC can help with my power.
Such as what?
Such as the like the clean and presses, the crazy plates, with the bar, like ring jumps, stuff like that. Just
Okay, and box
explosive
jumps, yeah.
movements specific to boxing.
Great. Okay, and you, Jake?
Mine was just agility, just working on all kind of things with feet really, and just focus on feet. All ladders on the floor, so doing SAQs maybe twice a week. A bit of plyometrics as well, so a bit of box jumping, and just getting the full power out of my legs.
Okay.
Just full.
Which ties in really well with your technical goal anyway,
Yeah,
or footwork.
Sort of
Okay, so seeing some good progress over the time here. So moving on to mental now. So we'll start again with you, Jake. So mentally, what kind of improvements have you seen?
My motivation's been better, much better.
Why?
Just because every time I used to go out for a run, I just used to put on the shoes and just run. But now it's kind of do the times, set the times, how quick, how far. And then I'd come back and I'd log it, and then I'd know next time, beat that. So I'd come out of the door and I'd have motivation to beat that kind of goal setting. So it helped
Fantastic.
me
So goal setting essentially has been part of, has been a big sort of attribute of your motivation. Okay, tremendous. Right, Cash, what about yourself?
Yeah, no, it's the same with Jake's really. So I just started logging down my runs and my times and everything like that, and then after seeing my improvements, it's given me confidence. So it's given me confidence in the ring, like, so because I know I am actually improving and I'm just getting better each time. Yeah, no, that's
Okay,
really.
moving across to you, Mecca.
Yeah, I've done something different to both Cash and Jake. I've done handling failure, and the way I chose to improve on that was by, after a session, I'd log down how the session went, what I'd done well, what I'd done bad, and my next session I'd try and improve on what I'd done bad, but whilst also working on what I'd done well as well, so that it made me like, my next performance I was a lot better.
Okay, so you've actually taken mistakes, if you will, as positives and areas to focus and improve upon. Okay, and Alfie?
Yeah, mentally very confident now. Sort of like know how to prepare myself before bouts and going with the right attitude by using things like the mental imagery. So that I could sort of picture like what I want to achieve before the bout. So I've got that in my mind that I'm going to do that, and I'm just more confident about the whole situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tremendous. Right, so let's move on now to more of a lifestyle side of things, guys. I mean, what kind of changes to your lifestyle have you made? So we'll make this more of a conversation now.
It's just, well, me and Macca have both come from the Isle of Wight, so obviously up here in Brighton it's a little bit of a travel, so we've had to move from the Isle of Wight, so like without our family, so just us two, so we've stayed in the host family, so that's obviously a massive difference to the lifestyle. And then we didn't know anybody up here, so we've had to just make friends and just completely change, like in terms of training every day, the whole going to the college at like the academy. So just a lot's changed, but it's like helped us so we can train every day, so we just keep improving. But we'll also get like the qualifications alongside with the AASE.
Okay, superb. So Mako, so looking back, if you were to talk to Macaulay when you started on this course, what would you say to him about that lifestyle change?
I think it's done me well. I think I'm glad I took this opportunity. I'm glad I've moved up here, because I think as a boxer it's like I've improved massively. But it's not only as a boxer. I feel more like confident now. Like my communication skills are a lot better, and I can talk to like other people, and like moving away from my family and friends. Like at first it was hard, but now like I've got used to it. And yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And Jake and Alfie?
Yeah, it's just travelling. Just like last year. Yeah, in my first year, I was sort of getting up at 4:30 in the morning every day, really early hours, just to get to college. So yeah, I was losing a bit of sleep and stuff just to make this happen. And like this year, I've moved to Brighton, so to make my life a bit easier, and obviously to go to a more suitable club for me now. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And Jake, similar with the travel?
Yeah, just getting up just before 6. Just about 20 minutes off Crawley, so it'd be a car journey to a train, then to a bus. So yeah, each day would be quite long, so getting up early and getting back late.
Okay. So I think that moves us well on to career. So talking about your careers, I mean, obviously when you do work full time, you know, these are similar sacrifices that you have to prepare for. What do we think about our careers now? You know, what sort of direction are we going in?
Because AASE we'll be training every day, and we have to do a certain amount of hours as well each week. So we'll be doing training at AASE at the academy, and then we'll also go to the clubs afterwards. So we train like twice a day. So obviously, from all this training, we're gaining more knowledge, so we know what to improve and how to improve each aspect of the body, of the performance. So, and then it's all, like as I said earlier, we're getting a qualification alongside this as well. So we're not just doing boxing. So we're getting I think the qualification's different from each, but yeah. So we're getting more coaching
kids.
Yeah, we're going into schools and everything. Doing boxing, so that's great. So we're just improving like that.
Okay. And does anybody specifically kind of have more of a focus of where they want to be in a few years' time?
Yeah. Like as far as like my amateur boxing career, I want to sort of get to the level where I can get England best and box at that level. Obviously, this is the best place for me to be to do that, because we're training twice a day, sort of like 6 days a week, and we're learning the best methods to get to that level. And also, like my professional career, not professional career, my working career, like backup plan sort of thing, would be just in the sports industry, sort of like getting a job coaching or leading, and also I'm interested in nutrition as well.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe something.
Brilliant. So got some clear goals there, which is really important for motivation. Anybody else, guys, got a bit of an aspiration of where they want to be?
Well, I want to like progress with my boxing and see how far I can get with my boxing. Like Alfie said, like England vest and GB and stuff like that. But I've also got a backup plan, which is physiotherapy at uni. I want to do physiotherapy or sports therapy at uni, and then hopefully I can carry on my boxing up at uni as well, so that I'm not just wasting my boxing. I'm still carrying it on and doing it, as well as going to university and studying different degrees.
Because I looked at sports psychology as well, which I've learned a lot more about from coming here for the qualification. So I might take it up at university as well.
Okay.
Just looking into that as well as doing boxing.
Brilliant. Okay, so now just moving on to things like health and safety. What kind of things have you learned that wise? I mean, we know notoriously it can be not the most exciting subject anyway, but it's a very important subject. So what have you learned across your time here with health and safety?
Just like overall how to just deal with, say, if something bad happens in the gym. So you would come to a gym, you would risk assess it, so you'd know where maybe all the fire exits are. If there's anything blocking the fire exits, you want to get rid of that and all the dangers. Or if something happens on the day, say walk on the floor, you want to clean it up.
Okay.
And you want to inform everyone.
So risk assessments, reporting, okay, emergency procedures.
Yeah, we did one of the drills, didn't we? So where we went through the whole procedure of if there was a fire, someone got knocked down, so you had to put them into the recovery position of how to do that, how to do it safely, like who you would have to tell, so whether it be a doctor or something like that, and you'd have to record it as well. And then you'd also, if like the fire alarm went off, then we'd also have to do that, so to carry them safely out of the ring, and just sort of things like that.
Okay, what about equipment? Use of boxing equipment. What sort of knowledge do we have about that, or
stuff like
understanding of why we use the equipment?
Yeah, so just everything has to be
holes in
approved.
gloves.
So like the correct gloves for like 16 ounces of sparring, 14 ounces. And gum shields, head guards. But then recently, because the system changed, where seniors wouldn't have to wear head guards, so we'd have to adjust that slightly.
One wears a head guard and
Yeah,
one
still
doesn't.
making
so
sure
there's no
someone else
cut.
wears a head guard so that it reduces
Sure.
the chance
We talked recently about Cavalon as well, the cream on the face and things like that as well, and ice on the hands.
Ice on the hands after every session, because obviously in the long
like
term,
impact on the
All the
knuckles
bones.
and stuff and the bones, so
Absolutely. So looking after ourselves.
reduces the swelling and stuff like that.
Right, fantastic. And what about communication? I mean, you've run into loads of different people over your time here. How do you feel you've all grown sort of as communicators?
Communication I've improved in a lot. I mean, sort of like communicating with all the different boxers from different areas, and just working with each other to improve both of as boxers together. Sort of like you're teaching like the other person, and that's helping your communication.
It's making you also like a lot more confident as well.
Okay.
Like in communication, like you just feel confident in talking to other people that you don't necessarily know.
Kind of having to deal with these people and work with these people gives you
Also,
more
like
opportunity.
this, like when you're just like recording us and stuff, we're better on the camera. And
It's coming
being
like
put on the spot. Really.
travelling distances and then being put like just coming straight into a gym with other lads. You just set them well and like.
And do you feel
if
if I put this camera in front of you when you started at AASE that you'd be able to be as articulate and reflective as you were? As you are now.
I crumbled first time.
Yeah, I think it was a lot of giggles and looking to your mate and trying to keep a straight face and quite one-word answers. And I think this shows the massive sort of transferable skills that you've improved on as well. Okay, and finally, let's talk about nutrition. How do you feel our nutrition's improved?
The understanding of the nutrition has improved first of all, because so we know what's good for our body and what will improve different factors. So like how to develop the muscle fibers in your arms or something like that. So you need like protein or something like that.
Different intakes of different nutrients as well.
Okay,
So
brilliant.
making sure you've got a lot of protein and a lot of carbohydrates in your diet.
And do you feel that's helped with like fueling, recovering, performance?
I used to feel really like slouchy before I used to come in the gym.
Okay.
Kind of still tired but fueling myself before and then after as well. So the 20-minute window.
Okay, great.
Protein, repairing your muscles.
All right, tremendous. Any more comments there? Okay, so finally, if you're a 16-year-old boxer, usually they're 16, but you're about to start on AASE next September, what would you say to these boxers about the course?
Definitely do it, because it's just if you're an upcoming boxer and you really want to succeed in boxing, then you get the chance to train full time twice a day, as we said, and you're getting the qualifications as well. So you're not, you're doing the academic side of it as well. So you're winning both ways. Isn't it?
Okay. Any further comments?
Yeah, I'd say like if you're a dedicated boxer and you're serious about this, I think this is definitely the place to be. It's going to help your boxing ability and also your knowledge as well. Your mental, and you get the qualification for it at the end of the day. So that's going to set you up for other things.
Okay, Macca?
Just really what Cash and Alfie both said, but it's also, it follows the style of GB, so if that is the level you're aspiring to be at, then this course is training all the time, stretching before and after sessions, ice packs on the hands and stuff like that. It's all stuff that GB do, so if you're looking to be at that level, then
Okay, so hit the ground running if you do progress to that level. And you, Jake?
It's brilliant. Training twice a day, you're going to get better twice as quick. To be honest, and technically, mentally, physically, everything. You just learn skills, communicating with everyone, your nutrition, just everything, health and safety, what I didn't even really know about. Just learnt new things, new subjects, new people, everything. It's really good.
Okay, right, so just on a personal note, guys, I think you guys have been tremendous over your time here at AASE, seen you grow as boxers, as people, much more educated, and I think just actually during this interview brings home to me how much you have developed over your time here, and it's you know, it makes me proud to see you guys develop, and I'm sure you'll keep developing in your boxing and in any other careers if you should go into those, so well done.